What's up, 49er faithful? Let's go! You guys saw the breaking news. The San Francisco 49ers have officially rehired Robert Saleh to be their defensive coordinator. You know what? We need some sounds. We need some hype. Let's go. All right. Enough of the sounds. What's up, 49er faithful? Wow. It is 7:09 p.m. on Friday, January the 24th, and the 49ers have a new defensive coordinator, and his name is Robert Saleh. I can't believe we've gotten here. I can't believe it's real. I can't believe it's official. Everyone on Thursday evening lost their minds when Mike Silver came out with his tweet saying that he expected the 49ers to hire Robert Saleh soon. Don't get me wrong. When a guy like Mike Silver speaks, I listen. When a guy like Mike Silver says that, I take it and run with it, right? But I wanted to wait. I wanted to wait and see. I wanted to wait until it was official. And here we are. Robert Saleh will be calling plays on the defensive side of the ball for the San Francisco 49ers in 2025. How did we get here, Niner fans? After the Robert Saleh roller coaster. That's what I've been calling this for a while now. The Robert Saleh roller coaster that we have endured the last several days and weeks. I can't believe that we got here. First tonight, you get the breaking news that the Dallas Cowboys have hired Brian Schottenheimer as their head coach. Earlier this morning, the Las Vegas Raiders hired Pete Carroll to be their head coach. And according to Matt Mayoko on Thursday evening, if Robert Saleh did not get a head coaching gig, he would return to the 49ers as the defensive coordinator. That is what Robert Saleh said to the team. If he was going to be a defensive coordinator anywhere, it was going to be in San Francisco. And as the dominoes continued to fall, as the smoke continued to build, here we are, 49er fans. It's real. It's happened. I scrambled to get going live here tonight. I put up the video. If you guys haven't seen it already, I put out the breaking news video. I'm pumped up. I'm absolutely just jacked. Let's go. If you're hyped up to see Robert Saleh back on the sidelines for your San Francisco 49ers this fall, drop some emojis in the chat. Let me see some fire emojis. Let me see some siren emojis. Let me see flex on them a little bit, Niner fans, because we can do that today. The San Francisco 49ers have started their offseason just perfectly. The Niners needed to upgrade at defensive coordinator. They've relieved Nick Sorensen of his duties, and he is not expected back with the team per multiple reports earlier in the week. He's gone. Brandon Staley, the previous assistant head coach, is also expected to be gone, according to several reports. Robert Saleh is back. Let's go, faithful. That's what I'm talking about. I can't believe it. I can't believe it. And Robert Saleh is expected to be the highest paid defensive coordinator in the National Football League. What a day. What a time to be alive, 49ers fans. Let's see who we got in the chat. Let's see who we got in here. Let me say what's up to all the people. Star Tropic 1, Mr. Laidback 808, Niner JTV, local 49ers fan, Andrew Perez, Flies in the chat, Jose Ruiz. Let's go. Let's go, faithful. That's what I'm talking about, baby. I don't know what to say. I got goosebumps right now. I'm pumped the hell up. I know you have a million different 49er YouTubers, content creators, whatever you want to call them. You have a million different 49ers personalities that you can watch here on YouTube. But for those of you that are tuned in right now, watching me share my excitement, share my emotion in real time with you guys about this announcement. Thank you so much for being here on a Friday night. Robert Saleh is back, baby. All gas, no brakes. Let's go. Robert Saleh will be running the steps at Levi's once again prior to every home game, getting himself hyped up, getting himself in the right state of mind to coach the San Francisco 49ers to victory every single Sunday that they line up on that field. I'm hyped up. How about you guys? Are you guys hyped up? I don't know if you're hyped up. I don't know if you're hyped up enough, 49er faithful. I don't know if you're on the same level that I'm on right now. You tell me. I don't know. Oh my God. Let's go. Let's go. That's what I'm talking about, man. Fly Isai in the chat says, "Who is your draft crush, JD?" And he called me JT. It's JD. And why are we worried about a draft crush right now, my man? Robert Saleh is back. The 49ers defense is back. That's what I'm worried about right now. We'll talk draft when that time comes. But right here, right now, we're talking about Robert Saleh. We're talking about this defense getting back to being an elite level defense. No more Steve Wilks. No more Nick Sorensens. No more rumors of Brandon Staley potentially getting the job. The San Francisco 49ers set out to get their guy. They had one mission. They had one goal. And they took care of business, 49er fans. Robert Saleh is back in the Bay. Wow. 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 Thank you guys so much for tuning in. Multiple reports came out. I first saw Tom Pelissero tweet it. Diana Rossini came out with it. Mike Silver, Matt Barrows, Matt Mayoko, one after another. They started trickling in on Twitter that Robert Saleh was officially coming back. And as soon as I saw the report that the Dallas Cowboys hired Brian Schottenheimer, I knew it was coming. Robert Saleh had not interviewed with the Saints. The Saints didn't really seem like they had any interest, or maybe it was the other way around. But as soon as I saw that the Dallas Cowboys head coaching position was filled, I knew what it was, because Robert Saleh had already told the 49ers that he would be returning to the Niners as the defensive coordinator if all the head coaching spots that he was interested in were filled. And Robert Saleh strikes me as a man of his word, and here we are. Now, I haven't been able to check the latest because I've been getting ready for this stream and putting up the breaking news video and whatnot. But from what I've heard, you guys correct me in the chat if I'm wrong. Maybe you're seeing it before I do. I have heard that it's going to be a 3-year deal for Robert Saleh. The annual value, we don't know. All we know for sure is that he is expected to be the highest paid defensive coordinator in the NFL. I don't know what that number is. I don't know if we're even going to find out what that number is officially. But from what I've seen, it sounds like it's going to be a 3-year deal for Robert Saleh, and he will have massive input when it comes to drafting players, player acquisition on the defensive side of the ball. And I love the fact that Kyle Shanahan now gets to just hand the reins to Robert Saleh and say, "Hey, that's your defense. Do with it what you will. I'm going to go over here and I'm going to manage the offense, and I'm going to deal with Brock Purdy and George Kittle and Christian McCaffrey. That's what I'm good at if I'm Kyle Shanahan. And you're going to leave Robert Saleh to do what he does best, and that is wreak havoc on opposing offenses." I'm pumped, guys. I'm pumped. Let's see who else we got in the chat. 3 years, $90 million. No, I highly doubt that. I highly doubt it's 3 years, $90 million for Saleh. Good try, though. Good troll. Let's see. I'm gonna live check the good old tweeter and see what's going on. See what people are saying. Adam Schefter. The San Francisco 49ers and head coach Kyle Shanahan officially named former Jets head coach Robert Saleh as their new defensive coordinator. Saleh now returns to the job he held before the Jets hired him as their head coach. Okay, so I'm not seeing anything about the years and whatnot. What's up, Fazil? I see you in the chat, man. What's going on? Let's go, guys. And real quick, I mentioned this once a stream. If you guys are pumped up like me and you want to help support the channel and help support what we do as we get the ball rolling, the Cash App and Venmo information is down below in the ticker as well as the description box. It's JD49TD, and you will find those avenues on Cash App and Venmo if you want to help support the stream as we get things up and rolling, continue to rack up those watch hours and get monetization re-enabled. But not required. I'm good on vibes right now, guys. I'm so hyped up. Let's go. That's what I'm talking about, man. Savage in the chat says 49ers will bounce back next season. Count on it. Hashtag bang bang. That's what I'm talking about. That's the energy I'm looking for tonight, faithful. And speaking of that, we had a voicemail that I'm going to play right now. And I'm going to pull that up for you guys because we had another member of the 49er fan base call into the faithful phone line like I've promoted last stream and give his thoughts on this news. So let's go ahead and play that right now.
Yo, it is your boy, 49er Tone, calling in, man. It is Thursday night, but we already know the news. It is basically inevitable. It basically sounds like it's going to happen. Welcome back home, Robert Saleh. Now, I just want to let you know this sets the entire tone of our offseason. We have our guy coming back home. Robert Saleh came in with Shanahan. He built the defense. He's been here. We've been running his scheme and been running his defense since he's been gone for the most part. And now he's coming back home with Fred Warner. Hopefully Dre Greenlaw is coming back. Bosa, all the cast of characters that we have on defense, the young guys we have in the secondary. I mean, this really makes me excited, and I'm very happy going forward into this next season with Robert Saleh back. Our defense should be solidified. We can focus on fixing our defensive line, getting some linebacker depth, and with our young secondary, man, our defense, it sounds like our defense is going to be back. So welcome back home, Saleh. Now, if it doesn't happen, I'm going to be very disappointed. But
it happened.
Right now, from all the reports, it sounds like it's going to happen. Let's go.
Shout out my boy 49er Tone for calling and leaving that voicemail last night after we got the news that Saleh was expected to be the defensive coordinator. He was hyped up, so I wanted to play that one real quick. And you know what I'm going to do? Since it is Friday, Niner fans, I'm going to leave the faithful phone line open. If anyone wants to call in and share in the excitement, share in the news, give your take, give your thoughts, the faithful phone line is open, guys. 415-498-0946 is the number. You will find it below in the description and the ticker as well. 415-498-0946. I'd love to talk to some of the fellow faithful out there who are as pumped up as I am right now to see Robert Saleh returning to San Francisco. What a time to be alive. That's what I'm talking about, man. Man, I'm hyped. I'm absolutely hyped. Okay, let's breathe. Let's relax a little bit. One thing Tone mentioned in his voicemail, he said, hopefully Dre Greenlaw will be back now that we have Robert Saleh. You would have to think Robert Saleh knows exactly how important Dre Greenlaw is to this defense. And I will be talking about the free agents on the team who should be returning, in my opinion, and who they should go maybe possibly acquire in free agency. But Dre Greenlaw right now, for me, is at the top of that list. And now that you have Robert Saleh back in the fold, Niner fans, you have to think Robert is gonna just pull for his guy, Dre Greenlaw. He knows what Dre Greenlaw means to this defense. And so, in short order, just hiring Robert Saleh, that tells me there's a very good chance Dre Greenlaw returns to this team because Robert Saleh, out of anybody, knows how important and impactful that Dre Greenlaw is to this 49ers defense. And speaking of this 49ers defense, there has been so much talk about, we need to change the scheme. We need to change it up. It's just old and it's getting figured out, and we need to change it just for the sake of change because we had a down year last year and tons of our players got hurt and things didn't go our way. All of a sudden, we have to change the scheme. I told you the Niners weren't going to change the scheme, guys. Kyle Shanahan is who he is. John Lynch is who he is. The 49ers were not going to change the scheme. And Robert Saleh is back. So what does that tell you? The wide nine is here. They needed, and I've said this several times, they just needed the right horses to run the race. And that's what the rest of this offseason is going to be all about. refilling the cupboards, restocking the cupboards for Robert Saleh to call plays effectively and making this scheme work again. It worked fine in 2023 when the defense only allowed an average of 17 points per game in a regular season. The scheme is not broken. You just need to upgrade the talent. And they started tonight with bringing back their guy, Robert Saleh. I can't believe that we're actually here, 49er fans. I can't get over it. I'm on cloud nine right now. It feels good to be a 49er fan tonight. It absolutely does. Again, if anyone wants to call in and give their take, give their thoughts, and sharing the excitement with your boy, 415-498-0946 is the faithful phone line. Call in number, and I'd love to hear from you. But let's see. Andrew Perez in the chat. Oh, I think we're getting a call. Let's go. Faithful phone line. You're talking to JD. Who's this?
What's up, JD? This is Joey Tandino from LA. How's it going over there?
What's going on, my man? What's on your mind tonight?
Hey, man, I'm super hyped tonight, man. I can't believe it. That's great that we got back Robert Saleh. We definitely needed him back because I didn't know what the heck we were going to do if we didn't get him.
Right.
Longtime 49er fan. And what's awesome, though, is that the Super Bowl is going to be in our house next January. I'm psyched as hell. I love it.
The Niners' schedule is easier than it's been in recent years. They're hosting the Super Bowl in their house. They just brought back Robert Saleh. Things are lining up right now, Niner fans, and I'm just pumped up. How about, I mean, where were you when you got the news? What was your reaction?
Okay, so the thing is, I was scrolling through YouTube and I saw your feed, so I went up to your feed. And I was listening to you, and then I went to go check out ESPN, and then I went to 49ers Breaking News. And that's when I found out that Saleh came back was from you first, and then through 49ers Breaking News.
Awesome. Well, hey, I appreciate the phone call, man. I appreciate you tuning in. Make sure you subscribe. Make sure you turn those notifications on so you know when we go live. And don't be a stranger, man. Call back anytime.
I appreciate you. Keep up the good work, JD.
Thank you so much. Have a good weekend. That's what I'm talking about. We got a phone call to the faithful phone line. Let's go. Niner fans. He can't be the only one. I know me and him aren't the only ones that are hyped up right now. So let's talk about it. Andrew Perez in the chat says, "Is Lenoir moving to the slot?" He plays in the slot on third downs a lot, or actually when they move to the nickel, they put Lenoir into the slot. So he plays a lot of slot. We'll have to see what they do in free agency in the draft. They're going to be targeting a corner because Charvarius Ward, by all accounts, is expected to move on. But we'll see. The Niners have options. Diamador Lenoir is extremely scheme versatile. He can play wherever you want. And with Robert Saleh back in the fold, who knows what he's going to want to do? He's going to put his own stamp on this team as well. He wasn't here when Diamador Lenoir was on the team. So that's going to be an interesting wrinkle to see how he utilizes a guy like Diamador Lenoir. I'm very interested to see what he does there. Let's see. Okay. All right. And Andrew also said, "Do you think the scheme is outdated?" I don't. I don't think it's outdated, guys. You just have to have the talent to run it. If you're able to get pressure with your front four, drop 7 into coverage, in theory, I mean, it's kind of the perfect thing. If you can get pressure with just your front four without having to blitz, it's ideal. It's ideal. The only problem with the scheme is the wide 9 and the fact that it can be ran on, and teams have figured that out. And if you don't have some big bodies in the middle that can really fill those gaps and take care of the run game, then that's the weakness. That's the problem. And the Niners know that. You think they don't know that? They know what the weaknesses are, and I fully expect them to fill those holes and take care of those weaknesses this offseason, especially with Robert Saleh coming back. Robert's going to go, okay, first thing we need to do, let's go get some defensive tackle help. Let's do that. And then maybe another edge rusher, right? Let's get Nick Bosa another running mate. Let's get some depth on this D-line, And so, I don't think the scheme's broken. I just think they need to upgrade the talent a little bit. And it's not the end of the, it's not like, it's not found out. Sure, everything gets found out over time in the NFL, right? Everything gets picked apart. People find the weaknesses in certain defenses, certain offenses, whatever. But you have a guy like Robert Saleh who can adjust. And that's what the Niners didn't have with Nick Sorensen. So just bringing in Saleh will give the 49ers an advantage in that regard. That's just me, though. Danny in the chat says 31-20. I'm not sure what he's referring to, but don't really care. I think maybe we have a troll, but we'll see. It doesn't matter. Can't ruin my vibe. Can't ruin my vibe on a Friday night. We have Robert Saleh back in San Francisco, Niner fans. Let's see if there's any other breaking news that's happening while we are live, because I haven't been able to check my phone too much. Oh, DJ Jones, former 49ers defensive tackle DJ Jones checks in on Twitter, and he says, good for him. Presumably talking about Robert Saleh coming back to San Francisco. And DJ Jones has been a popular name as a guy the 49ers may target this offseason. I would love the Niners to bring back DJ Jones, but that can't be the only move you make. I would love to see him back. He was a very effective player for this 49ers team under Robert Saleh. And so he saw the news. He reacted to it and said, good for him. Maybe that's a little hint. Hey, Niners, good for Saleh to bring him back. What about your boy DJ? Maybe that's what that's about. Maybe that's what that's about. I don't know. But I would love to see DJ Jones back in the red and gold. And another thing that is back is the slogan, all gas, no brakes. That slogan, that motto, had this 49ers defense pinning their ears back, getting after quarterbacks, just laying out big hits, laying the wood, wreaking havoc against NFL offenses under Robert Saleh. So I'm here for some all gas, no brakes. Put the pedal to the metal and get after it. Let's go. David Yang in the chat says, D'Amico runs the same defense. It's not broken. Just needs some big dogs inside to eat doubles and keep our linebackers clean. Exactly. The Texans run the same defense, and they had a hell of a defensive performance this season. So we're good, Niner fans. We're good. Now, maybe mix it up a little bit. Make some adjustments. Maybe bring a little extra pressure sometimes, right? Maybe, upgrade the talent, and it will make the scheme, night and day different, And another thing, though, that I first thought of with this whole reuniting with Robert Saleh thing came to fruition. The one thing about Robert Saleh that I didn't care about during his time in San Francisco is on occasion, you would see a guy like a Solomon Thomas dropping into coverage or a Nick Bosa dropping into coverage. And I hope that is something that is kept to an absolute minimum. I'm not a fan of that, and I never have been. But I know you have to mix it up, and you don't want to be predictable. But at the same time, let's not have, our best pass rusher dropping into coverage too often, or let's not have, a defensive tackle dropping into coverage. All right, Robert, if we can remedy that, then I think we're all good. Osmosis in the chat says, what up? What's going on, Osmosis? Long time, no talk. Hope you're well. How you feeling about this Robert Saleh hire, man? How you feeling? Mr. Laidback in the chat says, DeForest Buckner as well to come back. I think he's a little too expensive. I think DeForest Buckner would be a little too expensive. And at the same time, just because you're bringing Saleh back doesn't mean you have to get the whole 2019 band back together. What are we going to ask for next? D Ford? No. Now obviously if you can get Buckner on a bargain, then sure. But I don't see that as an option. I don't see that as something viable that the 49ers can do. Osmosis says, we just need to stay healthy for the love of God. Exactly. That just stay healthy, having what's the word? An adequate defensive coordinator calling plays, right? Have someone who is qualified to do the job, and have them just do enough to not mess it up and stay healthy, and let the scheme do what it does. Let the talent on this defense do what it does, combined with the youth movement that they have going on in the secondary. I'm encouraged. I'm hyped up already. I can't wait to see what happens the rest of this offseason now that the biggest domino has fallen. Again, guys, Faithful phone line is open. If anyone else wants to give their thoughts, 415-498-0946 is that phone number. If you want to call in and talk about this breaking news, the phone line's open. So keep that in mind. David Yang in the chat says, I need Saleh to dial up some nickel blitzes. K1, the Shark, used to force so many fumbles and interceptions. Yeah, he did. Yeah, and I'm with that. I'm with that. Diamador Lenore has shown the propensity to come up and hit too. So if you want to send Lenore on some nickelback blitzes, I'm all for it. Let's go. Like, I'm down with that. I'm down with that. Uh, David also says Mr. Clean is here to clean up this defense. I like that. You're right. Mr. Clean, Robert Saleh with that chrome dome bald head is here to clean up the 49ers defense. Yep, you're absolutely right. You're absolutely right, my man. Fazil in the chat. I'm so hyped. Can't wait to see Saleh back. We can improve the defense in free agency and the draft. 100%, my friend. 100%. I'm pumped. Absolutely pumped. Osmosis says, and we got Saleh. It's going to be huge for us. Yep, you're absolutely right, Oz. Absolutely right, man. Let's go. I'm pumped up. I don't know if I'm gonna be able to sleep tonight. Guys. I don't know. I'm excited. If you guys haven't already, smash that like button. And also go check out the breaking news video that I put out just before going live. Make sure you check that out. Leave a comment, smash the like button. And if it's your first time here, make sure you hit that subscribe. Make sure you turn on the notifications so you know whenever we drop a new video or whenever we go live. And we're gonna do the damn thing here on Keeping the Faith. And I'm pumped. I'm pumped. I don't know if you guys can tell. Is it just me? Or am I a little bit jazzed up? Am I a little bit excited tonight? Maybe it's just me. I don't know. But I'm pumped. Danny in the chat says Niners should target Jets free agent players. Yeah, and there's been a lot of talk about that. Maybe Saleh brings a guy like a DJ Reed with him. Maybe Saleh brings a guy like a Jamie Sherwood, as Larry Krueger has often hyped up as a target potentially. There's guys that you would have to imagine Saleh's going to bring some of his former disciples from New York over here to help out. And including with that is the longtime Jets special teams coordinator. The Niners having let go of their previous special teams coordinator and not retaining Nick Sorensen to maintain that job has freed up that special teams coordinator role. And the Niners had conducted an interview with, let's see, I'm going to pull it up here. I can't remember his name off the top of my head. I'm too damn excited. Bear with me, guys. Bear with me. Brant Boyer is the guy the Niners are expected to show some interest in. Longtime New York Jets defensive coordinator since 2016, I believe. He was obviously there with Robert Saleh. So I would imagine bringing Saleh in. Saleh said, hey, go get Brant Boyer and bring him in. He probably made that part of the deal. Like, hey, if I'm going to come here, you got to bring certain guys with me. You got to make this worth my while. I got some guys that can help us. So I would imagine that Brant Boyer probably ends up your special teams coordinator, 49er fans. Fazil says, now imagine Malik Mustafa in this defense with Saleh. I can't wait. That's the one player outside of anyone else on the Niners defense. Malik Mustafa is probably the guy who has me the most hyped up, as well as the return, hopefully, all season next year of Dre Greenlaw. But Malik Mustafa, I love that kid. Man, I cannot wait to see what kind of a jump he makes in his development going into year 2, especially under Robert Saleh. I can't wait, guys. Let's go. All right. So, again, if anyone wants to call in, the Faithful phone line is open. We've already got one call already. That's 415-498-0946. One of you guys needs to call in and talk to your boy and share in this excitement. The Niners got Robert Saleh. The roller coaster is over, Niner fans. The drama is over. And the 49ers can get to work on this 2025 season. That's so encouraging. After the season that the 49ers had, what a way to get things back on track. I'm pumped up. And everyone was criticizing the 49ers' approach to this coaching search, having only interviewed a handful of candidates, Robert Saleh being one, Deshae Townsend from Detroit being another, potentially Brandon Staley, even though I don't know if he actually got a formal interview. I think they just said that. to make Brandon Staley look a little better. But everyone was wondering, what are the Niners doing? All the other defensive coordinator candidates are taking jobs elsewhere. Meanwhile, the Niners are just sitting there doing nothing. And then you hear Tim Kawakami of the San Francisco Standard say that he was sensing some anxiety coming from within the walls at 49ers headquarters this week after Trent Baalke, the former Jaguars general manager, was let go of his duties, presumably meaning that Robert Saleh became, one of the top candidates for the job. Oh, we got another call. Let's go.
Anything crazy to be
What's
like,
up? What's
excited,
up,
bro.
man? You're talking to JD. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Hey, JD, it's Fazil from Fremont.
Fazil, what is up, my man? Long time no talk.
Yeah, man, I'm glad you're doing well with your health and everything, and my prayers up to you, man. I just wanted to say glad to have you back and everything, man. And let's go Niners. I'm so pumped about Saleh coming back, reinventing our scheme, coming back, getting his own horses. I know Greenlaw's surely going to be back. I can't wait to see Mustafa, Lenore, Lee, Fred Warner, Bosa, Leonard Floyd on situational downs. They're going to improve this team with the free agency and draft along with the coaching of Saleh and getting our players back healthy. Super Bowl at Levi's next year. Weak schedule, easy schedule. We're going to be back. We just got to keep it going, keep it flowing as the offseason has been going great. I hope you're doing good, and I really appreciate it, man. And I can't wait to keep seeing more videos and stuff, streams from you.
For sure, man. Hey, and I appreciate you, giving your thoughts and all that. I'm good. I'm good to go. Thank you very much. I got to ask you, though. Did you think we were going to get Saleh? Did you really think it was going to happen? I got to know.
I have a 70% chance after the season ended and Saleh was fired that I felt like he was going to be it. Even though with the head coaching opportunity, the reason was I just feel like the fits weren't there for Saleh. And even though he interviewed and he was well liked as a leader, man, as a motivator, I just felt like the link back over here with Shanahan, and he's forever indebted for them, as he said in his introductory press conference with the Jets, that he would come back here, reinvent this. All he got to do is take care of the defense, be the highest paid, and then he knows he may get more opportunities down the line after reinventing himself as a coordinator. Like, coach, he's going to be all over the place in 2026. But what I feel like is the reason he came back, even as a coordinator, is because he loves the culture here. He loves York. He loves Shanahan. He loves Lynch. And he knows Shanahan now knows he can just hand that defense to him, as you said earlier in your stream, and he can just focus on the offense. He doesn't have to call timeouts in the Super Bowl to Steve Wilkes like we did last year, and including this year where there were so many misplacements, misalignments, missed calls, and all this with Sorensen. And he's well experienced. This is gonna just reinvent in this young defense, and they're gonna add more key guys in. I just feel like that's why the reason why I think he was gonna come back. I felt 70% that he was gonna come back.
Yeah, I was fairly confident. I don't know if you got a chance to catch up on the previous streams that we did, but I talked about, initially right away, I said, hey, my gut feeling, I think Saleh is going to be back here. You look at the coaching jobs that Saleh was interviewing for, the Raiders, the Cowboys, and the Jaguars. The Raiders just fired Antonio Pierce, who was a raw players coach, defensive guy. The Jaguars, they needed to go and get an offensive target at head coach to help, develop Trevor Lawrence. And then the Cowboys, they wanted a yes man. Jerry Jones wants a yes man, wants a guy who will do his bidding and do what he's told. And Robert Saleh is not that kind of dude. Robert Saleh is a man who stands on his own 2 feet. So this whole time, I really thought it was kind of a done deal that Robert Saleh was going to return. Now, sure, there were moments where I got a little nervous. Things got a little bit hairy. Things got a little bit uncertain. But I had the feeling the whole time that Robert Saleh was going to be back.
Yeah, absolutely agree with you, JD, on that. That you nailed it on the coffin with all those reasons why. Brian Schottenheimer just got hired, as we spoke of Saleh, for the Cowboys. He wants a yes man, and Saleh wants to run his own defense, his own guys, his own scheme, his own players, because he knows what the hell he's doing, which is why it's proven with his track record here as a DC, as we built the defense up with him, and he invented his own ways and the motivator that he is. I feel like, like you said, the Raiders wasn't a fit. The rah guy that just fired Antonio Pierce, they hired Pete Carroll. And then Jaguars, he was going back and forth with. I think Shad Khan wanted that offensive guy for Trevor Lawrence, was more leaning towards Trevor Lawrence in that offense, which is why it led Saleh back here to San Francisco, which makes complete sense.
Absolutely. Well, hey, Fazil, man, long time no talk. Thank you for calling in. Hope you have a good night and have a great weekend. And, hey, call back soon, man.
Yeah, go Bills, go Commanders.
Let's go. I like it, man. Have a good weekend.
Yeah. You too. Bye bye.
Shout out to Fazil, longtime viewer of the channel, for calling in. I agree. Let's go Bills. Let's go Commanders this weekend. That's who I'm rooting for. I'm not rooting for Kansas City, and I'm damn sure not rooting for Philly. So let's go Bills. Let's go Josh Allen, who grew up a 49er fan. Let's go Commanders. No, we don't want Philly in the bowl. We don't. So that's what I'm talking about. Shout out to Fazil for calling in. That's awesome. Danny in the chat says, "What's the likelihood of getting Max Crosby in the offseason?" Not going to happen, man. He has no more guaranteed money on his contract, and he's going to want a new deal. The Niners are going to be selling out so much money this offseason with the new Brock Purdy contract. They have to re-sign George Kittle. They have to bring back Dre Greenlaw. They're not going to be able to invest the money in a guy like Max Crosby. It's not going to happen. But with Robert Saleh in the fold, I don't think you need a Max Crosby to have an effective defense. You can go and get another guy who can help at a much cheaper price. I wouldn't be opposed to Max Crosby. Don't get me wrong. I just don't think it's likely. And now that you have one of the top defensive coordinators in the game back on your side, your defense is going to be better by default. And of course, this team is going to make some additions. They're going to invest in the defensive line, guaranteed. I just don't think it'll be Max Crosby. If anyone else wants to call in, Faithful phone line is still open, 415-498-0946. Call in to Keeping the Faith. What are your thoughts, Faithful? How are we feeling? Where were you when you got the news? Did you actually think it was going to happen? I did. I tried to tell you guys. Yeah, I got a little nervous. Don't get me wrong. I got a little nervous. But I've been saying from the jump, I thought Saleh was going to be the guy. It's on tape. It's on tape. It's on wax, as the kids say, right? I'm hyped up. Let's go. Robert Saleh is back, man. I'm absolutely jacked to the gills right now. This is awesome. What a day. What a day. What a day. Shout out to everybody in the chat who has been showing love this evening. Shout out to all the faithful that are watching at home. Oh, what a day, man. I don't know. I'm just pumped up. We've been live for about 40 minutes. We can keep going as long as you guys want to keep talking about it. So if anyone wants to call in, last call. If anyone wants to hit up the Faithful phone line and give their thoughts on Robert Saleh returning to the San Francisco 49ers in 2025. 415-498-0946 is your call-in number. So, let's see. Star Tropic 1 in the chat says, before the Purdy injury in the NFC Championship game and Fat Dom, I didn't have that much hate for Philly. Niner fans and Eagles fans were united in our hatred for the Cowboys. Yeah, but, my hatred for Eagles fans started right before that NFC Championship game where Brock Purdy got hurt, because I knew some people that went to the game in Philly, and they were getting things thrown at them, eggs, food, getting some racial slurs thrown their way. I heard some horror stories from people that I know that went to that game. And Eagles fans are just the scum of the earth, man. They don't get me wrong. They're passionate. They're smart. They know their team. They love their team. But as far as, just them as people, not my thing. Not my thing. Shout out to all the viewers, though. And if anyone else, like I said, speak of the devil. Let's go. Another phone call. What's up? You're talking to JD. What's your name and where are you calling from?
JD, what's up, man? It's David, brother.
David, what's up, my man? How you been?
I'm good, man. Glad to see you back, bro.
Appreciate it, man. What's on your mind tonight? How are we feeling?
Hey, man, I'm feeling pretty good about Saleh, man. Saleh, he's the man, I'm just glad he's back, because I really didn't want us to end up with some guy like Ulbrich, man. I was out on Ulbrich, and so I'm just glad we got Saleh,
What didn't you like about Jeff Ulbrich? I'm just curious.
I love the players. The old school 49er, number 53. Love the guy. I just didn't like how the Jets defense looked after Saleh left.
Right.
Even the year before when the offense looked atrocious. Saleh got them to what, 8 or 9 wins, basically on the defense. And then this year, even though they weren't winning a lot of games, the Saleh was solid. I mean, the defense was solid. I think they were top 5 before he got fired.
Yeah.
Right after,
Yeah.
right after he got fired, Ulbrich took over. I think they were dead last. Or
Yeah, they were right there for sure. Yeah.
Yeah, and so I'm just glad we didn't end up with Ulbrich because I know a lot of guys wanted Ulbrich because of last year. You know, with all the flirting the 49ers did last year with Ulbrich, but I'm just glad we didn't end up with Ulbrich.
Did you think they were going to get Saleh? Did it feel like it to you after everything that's been going on the last few days?
I was nervous, man. I was nervous. I ain't gonna lie, because you know, with Saleh and Khan, they're both Muslim, bro. So I thought that they would, like, you know, be like buddies. You know what I mean? So I was a little worried about that, man. Just having, you know, religious similarities and whatnot. But I didn't think the fit was right. You know, I didn't think the fit was right. I just kind of felt like they needed offensive coach to coach up Trevor. You know, so you pay all that money to Trevor, you got to have an offensive guy to coach him up. You know, and I think they did good with the Cohen guy.
Yeah, they definitely went the way that they should have. And Trevor Lawrence hasn't lived up to the billing that he got as that number 1 pick and the heir apparent and the second coming. You know, he hasn't lived up to that. So they needed to invest in the offense. If they went with a guy like Robert Saleh and then they didn't go get some home run at offensive coordinator, it would set their team back even further. And so they did the right thing in Jacksonville. And the Niners, their gamble paid off, man. They got their guy.
I mean, I was really worried about that too, man, because they really didn't do anything else besides just interview Saleh and a couple of dudes. They were basically laying all their eggs in that Saleh basket. And if it wasn't Saleh, man, it would have been tough pickings. I started looking at other candidates who was going to be available, and it was like Gus Bradley. It was a bunch of like just no-name guys, you know. And so I was worried, man. I was worried.
Yeah,
But,
and luckily the Niners did it, man. They pulled it off.
I'm glad they got it done, brother. I'm glad they got it done. And hopefully we can get some, you know, a couple of cheap players, you know, to come with them. I heard the Jets have a really good young linebacker that's available.
Jamie and Sherwood, yeah.
Yeah, Sherwood. Because I'm not too sold on D. Winters, man. Because D. Winters, he's shown flashes, but that guy, he's made out of Charmin, man. He gets hurt at every other play. And so
We
can't trust D. Winters, but I hope it's what they were saying about Krug. You know, Krug saying that Dre Greenlaw's market isn't looking too bright. So if that's the case, we could bring back Dre on a 1 or 2 year deal. That'd be perfect.
I mean, you got to think with Robert Saleh back. He's got to bring back Dre Greenlaw. He needs Dre Greenlaw out there on his defense. I mean, I think it's pretty simple to see.
Yeah, I think Dre Greenlaw is too key to our team. You know, the speed that he plays with is crazy, and he's like the tone setter for our defense. You know, I think one thing we got to worry about is our safety. I like Mustafa. I think he'll be fine. Jair Brown looks terrible, bro. You know?
Yeah, he had a sophomore slump. He definitely wasn't the same instinctual player that he was his rookie year, and he fell into that Shanahan doghouse. But we've seen it before with guys that fall into the Shanahan doghouse, especially in year 2. They bounce back in year 3. You know, we saw Brandon Ayuk, that happened to him. We saw Akella Witherspoon back in the day go into the Kyle Shanahan doghouse and kind of fight his way out of it. So I'm not done with Jair Brown just yet. I'm not.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I'm not so sure if it was scheme related or whatnot, because you definitely know that he doesn't have the speed to be playing free safety. You know what I mean? And then for some reason this year he got them tart hands now, man. Like can't catch no balls, and and pause. And it's just been bad, bro. You know,
Yeah.
I don't know. You know, he was drafted. We drafted him because he's a ball hawk, and this year I think he dropped like 4 or 5 INTs.
Yeah.
So it was a rough season, man. Rough season for Jair Brown. Hopefully he bounces back, but I think we need to seriously address the safety too, because I don't think we're going to bring Huff back.
Yeah, I don't think Hufanga's returning. He's going to be too expensive, and you have youngsters who, can do the same sort of job, if not better. And I'm not giving up on Jair Brown just yet. But if they want to go get a true ball hawk, I wouldn't be opposed to that. Absolutely not.
Yeah, for sure, man. Hey, JD, man, it's good to see you back, bro.
Hey, I appreciate that, David, man. Thank you for calling in. Don't be a stranger. Call in anytime we're live.
For sure. All right, man. Have a good night, bro.
Have a good one. Shout out my guy David Yang for calling in. That's what's up. Appreciate that. That's awesome. That's awesome to hear from some of the OG callers, the OG viewers, to keeping the faith here. Anyone else wants to call in? We'll give it one more go, one more phone call before we go ahead and wrap this thing up. I'm pumped. Man, wow. I can't believe it's actually real. I can't believe it's real. Robert Saleh is back, ladies and gentlemen. The Niners gamble paid off. If I'm Kyle Shanahan or John Lynch, I'm gonna go play the lottery right now because those guys got lucky. Wow, that was a hell of a gamble by the 49ers front office, man. It felt like they were going to lose out on their guy for a while and then be screwed, be scrambling to fill it. And it felt like last offseason when they offered that defensive coordinator role to several candidates. They tried to get Jeff Ulbrich from the Jets only to be rejected, and they had to settle on Nick Sorensen, and it felt like that was the way that things were going. But I also said this too. I said, the way this is shaping out, the Niners appear extremely confident that they're getting their guy. The Niners have to know what's actually going on. They're talking to Robert Saleh constantly, I'm sure. And I said that. And I said from the get-go, my gut feeling is that Robert Saleh would end up being the 49ers defensive coordinator when this is all said and done. And here we are. Here we are. I'm glad I was right. I'm really glad I was right. But I'm even more glad that I wasn't wrong. Oh, man. Andrew says, why no more Hawk Hater TV? I went a different direction, and I changed the name a long time ago when I was still making content before. I had a lot of people saying, you're more of a Seahawk hater than you are a 49er fan, or, you're more of a Hawk hater than anything. And so I wanted to go in a different direction. And that's why I did the name change. But you guys can still call me JD. I've always been JD. That never changed. But I wanted to change it to more of a 49ers related name and get away from that aspect of it. Don't get me wrong. I still hate the Seattle Seahawks with a passion. Don't get it twisted. And seeing Pete Carroll get a job with the Raiders, that made me laugh because it's going to kill two birds with one stone. The Raiders aren't going to be very good, and Pete Carroll's also probably going to, struggle there in Las Vegas. So I'm pretty excited about that. I do think he'll turn it around somewhat. I think he will be able to instill a culture there that is desperately needed, and potentially, he'll start the turnaround for the Raiders. But I don't think they're going to win anything with Pete Carroll. If I'm being honest, I really don't. They need to go get a quarterback. And there's talk out there that maybe Russell Wilson reunites with Pete Carroll. And Russell Wilson, he's washed. If you watch the Steelers late in the year, man, Russ is washed. He's been washed. He's done. And, I don't think that's going to work out for the Raiders. But that's just me. All right. Well, guys, I think we're going to call it a day. I'm pumped up. I need to go, run off this energy or something. I'm pumped. I'm absolutely just hyped up. I can't believe that this is real. Let's see. We got one more in the chat. Turbo Duran says Pete Carroll is laughing at you 49ers fans. Really? What's he laughing about? He's the Raiders head coach. What is there to laugh at? You're the head coach of the Raiders, man. Come on. Gotta love the Seahawks trolls showing their face in my chat every single time we go live. But let's not pay that any mind. I'm not worried about the Seahawks today. It's all about the 49ers, guys. Let's go. Daryl in the chat says, clap, clap. The Niners deserve to get Saleh back. They weren't doing so good without him for a while. Yeah, and Saleh's back. And the biggest thing is that Saleh gets a chance to finish what he started in San Francisco. Saleh came in with Kyle Shanahan in 2017, helped instill the culture, helped change the direction of this franchise, and helped springboard them to the recent success that they've had. And now Robert Saleh gets a full circle moment to come back here, coach up some of his former guys, and finish what he started. And the Niners are hosting the Super Bowl in 2025. I'm not saying, I'm not jinxing it, I'm not calling it, I'm not predicting it. All I'm saying is Robert Saleh has the chance to finish what he started. And I'm here for it. I'm pumped. So, all right, guys, with that, I'm going to go ahead and call it a stream. Thank you so much for tuning in. Thank you for, coming back around since we've restarted doing these streams and dropping these videos. More to come. More to come for sure. And Niner fans, enjoy your weekend. Enjoy these conference championship games. Again, let's go Buffalo. Let's go Washington. We don't want Philly. We don't want Kansas City. No, we don't. And everyone, just go enjoy yourself. Have a great weekend. And we will be back soon with more 49ers related, 49ers related content. So I'll catch you guys soon. Let's go Niners.